Liesia, do you know what a playbill is? Have you ever heard that word before?
No.
Do you know what a playbill is?
No.
Okay, have you ever heard that word before?
No.
Do you know where Broadway is?
It depends. I know Broadway 225, around there, the west side.
Okay. Have you ever been to a Broadway show? Would you be interested in seeing a Broadway show?
Yeah.
So you're interested in Broadway?
Mm-hmm.
You're interested in seeing these kind of shows and that kind of excitement with all the lights and all the people and all the different things?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the show?
Yes.
What are you most excited about? What do you think's gonna happen?
I want to see the Green Goblin fight Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know where we meet is Spider-Man. We going to see Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
What's with the hair change today?
Because I felt like representing Spider-Man today.
I want to see how spectacular it's going to be. Like, is it going to be like the cartoon show?
Hey, sis. I'm excited. Have you ever seen a Broadway play? No.
Amazing, man. It blew my mind.
Did you enjoy the show we just saw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
What was your favorite part?
Spider-Man. He was flying around versus the Green Goblin in the air. It was so awesome. Man, I got the book.
Get it? What other songs did you guys like? Anything else? You guys
Those are the only two songs that I remember. But yeah, Racky, she's some. She had me crying every time she saw. No, I cried when Ben died. That's not. No, see the scenery in the theater and like.
No? So what?
Our family was like one of those old ages when they just movie like this. But they actually use technology for their scenery.
So you like the fact that they're using technology for the scenery?
I wonder when they're gonna make a superhero squad. I bet I'll be auditioning Spider-Man.
A playbill is a book that when you go to a show, it tells you what's gonna happen. It's gonna tell you what's gonna happen and what's it gonna be about in the characters.
Wow. Well, first I want to say thank you, because this is the first time in 12 years that I've come on a stage to talk to people and not have to start off by yelling and saying, sit down, stop turning around, come over here. So this is a treat for me. I also want to say, and I have 5 minutes and 50 seconds, this is going to be quick. Okay. So why am I here? Well, and by the way, my slideshow sucks. I'm not that artistic, but I promise you my students are. I have a belief that schools partnering up with you guys in the Broadway industry has infinite possibilities. So I'm going to talk to you today about two things. One, I just want to quickly go over that video that you just saw. And then I want to quickly go over how I really feel that this formula here is really going to help bring you guys to the best Broadway can be in 20 years. So let's start off with our Broadway experience, and that is my school, our experience. Why did we do it? The purpose. Exposure. There's a lengthy expression up there, but in the interest of time, I need to expose my kids to as many different things as I possibly can for me to have any chance of being successful, of making them successful. I need to create a drive or a desire for something different. Where they come from, we're District 7 of the South Bronx. It's the poorest congressional district in the country. They don't get to see this kind of stuff. So anything I can get my hands on, any way I can get them exposed to something different is a win for me. Planning. A logistical nightmare, but worth it. Okay, normally, just to give you an insight, when a school goes on a trip, we don't normally send the entire school. It's normally, you know what, we'll send these kids because they're the best behaved. We're going to send these kids, they're our high-performing kids, or maybe we'll send the grade. But because my purpose was so important, I said, I got to send the entire school. And that is a logistical nightmare. Over 200 middle school students from the South Bronx getting on buses, coming into Manhattan in the middle of the day, in Times Square, to see a Broadway show, come back in one piece without somebody getting killed or missing an eye. That was, I mean, I was pulling my hair out for over a week. But I'm here to tell you it was worth every single second because of the experience that they had. And to tell you the truth, and I've said this to a couple of different people, that day was the highlight of my 12-year career with the DOE. It was that important. So the impact, in one word, it's immeasurable. What do I mean by that? Well, after that show, as you saw, I mean, that was an authentic video. There was no prepping. That was just grabbing a couple of kids and just kind of getting their responses. They're now talking about they want to be in Broadway. They want to audition for Spider-Man. They want to be, you know, the people playing the music in the orchestra pit. They want to be the artists creating the sets. We've never really heard them talk like that before. And that was from one show. Etiquette, being socially appropriate. They grew up in the South Bronx. Their social appropriateness is a lot different than yours, and that's why I say when I come in, I'm not used to, you know, just speaking. Everybody's seated and quiet. That's a big fear that I have. I need them to be socially appropriate. I need, when they become your writers and producers in your industry, they need to know how to act around other people. And they can't get that experience and those skills in their own community. I got to get them out, and that's part of the impact. They got to sit there and sit around people that don't look like people that's in their community, and they got to see how people socially act around one another. That was a huge impact for me. And then the last one is just, you know, for the first time, and a lot of this had to do with the wonderful people from Spider-Man and the wonderful people from Situation Interactive that helped put this together and treated us like stars and really made the day what it was. But we feel like we're part of the Broadway community. And I didn't think that was possible in the South Bronx, but believe me, you just saw the video. Those kids want this, and they feel like they're part of you. So, what's the second part here? There's an opportunity here. How can my school or schools like mine across the city, how can they help you guys take your industry to the best it can be within 20 years? I think we have to start off with, why would you want to be in schools? What does a school have to offer? You look at the first bullet, there's 1.1 million students currently enrolled in New York City schools. That number gets bigger every year. The beautiful thing about it, all you have to do is this, and there they are. You don't have to look for them. I promise you, they're there, and they're not going anywhere. This is an opportunity to reach into a population of young, talented, and driven people that are in your own backyard. And all I kept hearing from so many different presenters that came up is, we gotta get a diverse talent pool. We really gotta win the talent battle. This is it. This is New York City's best. I promise you that. All we have to do is just kind of show them and get them influenced and intrigued by this wonderful product. And if you saw from that video, that was one show, and they're in. They're going to be, I promise you, if you show a little interest, they're going to be your writers, they're going to be your producers, they're going to be your actors, and at the very least, they're going to be your audience members. So, how do we do this? Well, a lot of people think this is I want to curse so bad because I don't get to do it in school, but I'm not going to. A lot of people think this is a crappy time in education. I happen to agree to an extent. There was an article written last week about this TEDx conference by Barbara Hoffman in New York Post, and the last line in the article read, or maybe a miracle will happen and music education will return to our schools. Well, not just musical education, but arts education. That's not happening. Arts education, that's my opinion, but arts education is not coming back in the traditional sense. It's vanishing along with the funding. The first thing to get cut in any type of school, I promise you, is the arts. Because my job and everybody else's job involved in the school is not revolving around whether or not these kids are into art, it's whether or not they can pass a state test. So this makes me nervous, because if we don't make sure and if we don't make changes that these students are not going to grow up with the passion or the desire to be in industries like Broadway, and that's not good for me, and it's certainly not good for you. So instead of complaining about this and complaining about the budget sucks and no one has any money, arts is going down the tubes in schools, I look at it at this is now creating a need, and the big buzzword here is it's creating an opportunity for people like me in schools like mine to partner up with people like you and to create our own arts education, a rich, authentic arts education that's going to both help me and it's going to help get these students thinking about your industry so they can become your writers, they can become your producers, they can become your actors. As I promised Jim, I would be under 6 minutes. In closing, schools and Broadway, to me, the possibilities are limitless. It's infinite. I'm in. My school is on board. We're ready to go. This is something that was such an unbelievable experience for me that I'm going to do this every single year no matter what I have to do. My question to you all before I leave is, are you? Thank you very much.